guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching episode 2 of Arcane. I'm really liking this show even from the first episode. I'm really digging some of the characters, especially Vi. I love Vi. I love Vi. I think she's kind of everything that you would aspire a female to be, just especially in this world where it seems that if you are not strong, if you are not capable, if you're not hard somewhat, you're gonna have a hard time. Kind of like Powder, who seems to be just a little soft, a little sweet. Um, I don't foresee her being that for forever, especially with Vi being her older sister and showing her the way. I think we can expect amazing things out of Powder at some point. Claggor, I want more of. I don't think that I got enough of him in the last episode to really have an opinion one way or another. He seems like a very capable person, very easily manipulated by Vi a little bit. Um, I'd like to see more from him. Milo, on the other hand, I feel bad for Milo. I feel like he's the guy who doesn't get any respect. He's the guy that gets picked on, or at least feels like he gets picked on, because I think he's doing everything he can to find respect by like telling somebody that they got him, a great haul, or he won't keep his mouth shut because I think he always has something to say, so he like wants to be seen and heard. And I don't think he gets the respect that he wants, and I think that he's constantly trying to get that respect. So also Vander and Benzo were having a conversation about, that there are worse things than the enforcers. And then he proceeds to have a conversation with an enforcer named Grayson, who I think that they have a kinship or a friendship or at least an understanding of each other. And again, I can't pronounce her name and I'm not going to try, but great voice. I am sick, by the way. I've got a little allergy thing happening, so if I get raspy, or even super nasally throughout. I do apologize. I really wanted to watch this, and that's the only thing that's really being affected. An occasional cough, maybe maybe an obnoxious sneeze every now and then, but it just seems to be, for the most part, my voice is being affected the most. So right now I got the sexy going on. Not quite like Grayson. She sounds like she swallowed an ashtray. I am just mildly crunchy. Yeah. But it does seem that Vander is talking to Grayson about the fact that he's trying to keep peace with Piltover, which I'm getting is the main city, the above city, where the air is fresh and clean and the sun is bright and the animation is crisp. But then you go to the underworld and it's dodgy, it's dirty, it's gross. I've been told that the air is not good. I would imagine it's not good. Subterranean level, no good. But Grayson's trying to get Vander to turn over the culprits of the robbery that occurred and the explosion, which he's not going to do that. And Little Man overhears this conversation, and I'm sure he's going to report back to the right people because he's the one that heard about the Kiramans, or the people that work for the Kiramans. I'm not quite sure about that. I'm hoping we're getting more of that because I'd really like to know more about that workshop, especially because of the blue jewels. Again, I know they're not just explosives. Like there's got to be more to them than that. So I'm sure he's going to report back to Vi, and they're going to have things, probably some form of mischief. Vander seems like he's really fatherly. He seems very protective, but also very formidable. He's seen things enough that he knows that he needs to protect these other people. On the opposite end, we have two men that are kind of not on our side in the underworld. If anything, they want to see Vander fail. One, I'm just going to call him Robot Eye until we get a name. Or maybe we didn't get a name, I just didn't see it. But he pretty much gets on a Deckard that Vander knows the people that did this and that he's being watched by the enforcers and he wants to use that to his advantage somehow. And then he has this other little mad scientist that makes a super rat that kills a cat. Least favorite part of the episode. And I'm also not sure. I mean, obviously they're not good people. I don't know who he was volunteering for the purple stuff at the end, if it was Deckard or if it was himself. Maybe Robot Eye wants a super persona. I don't know. I don't think that's a good look. I already don't think he's got a good look, but that's definitely not a good look. So I think he's going to try to do it to Deckard, and I feel really bad for Deckard because he's just trying to survive. Okay, guys, I'm going to get into this episode. Again, you're probably going to see me sipping my matcha. This is a struggle right now, but we're going to get through it. All right, guys, let's get into it. Let's get through it and get into it. Oh, this is before the explosion.
Hello? Hey, open up!
Oh, hopefully it doesn't hurt that little girl. Oh, again, the most beautiful animation.
Wait.
Yeah, no, wait. What? What is this? First of all, gorgeous. But what is this? That is beautiful. Who's this guy? I don't know who that was, first of all. Imagery was beautiful. I don't know if it was male or female, just because long fingernails threw me off, but I'm assuming that that was a male. Saved Jace and his mother. And now we have kind of an origin of like the blue crystals, or the blue jewels.
There's a lot of restricted items here, and I don't see any permits.
What happened here? Science, I guess?
Science didn't require illegal equipment.
It was an independent study. Who are you, anyway?
I'm assistant to the Dean of the Academy. He sent me here to ensure that anything dangerous is removed. Includes you.
Oh. Well, hello.
We can find the physical body, yet the mind is still free. I do love a good conundrum.
Like him. What a conundrum.
Professor Heimerdinger.
Heimerdinger. He looks like a Heimerdinger.
A way to harness magic through science.
Magic.
Magic.
The arcane is dangerous, Jace.
Finally, we got arcane.
Science cannot control it. I am now 307 years old.
Looks good.
All my life I've pursued the mysteries of science, only to discover some are better left unsolved. Admit your work was dangerous, but speak nothing of magic.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Oh. Oh, it's my girl. That thing would knock me out solid.
You worried Powder's gonna beat you again?
Hey, if she didn't keep fixing these things, I wouldn't keep missing.
Oh. Oh. Gorgeous. I can't believe this is animation.
You guys know I wouldn't take you on a job you couldn't handle, right?
Maybe just don't take Powder next time.
Ugh, you jerk. Just never says the right thing. Yeah, why are you talking crap to her, Milo? Good grief.
Hey guys, you should see this.
More of that amazing slow-mo. I love it.
Go ahead, idiots. You got nothing.
Oh, yeah, girl, you gotta do something with that. Oh, Vi's gonna cause a scene, isn't she? Oh. They actually had a getaway plan? Oh. Of course, Vi. Of course, Vi. Stunning. This animation is stunning. No, no.
You need to hide those crystals.
Yeah, no shit.
Jace had nothing to do with that. He was robbed. We need to help him.
She's a Kierman. Okay.
We should hit them back. We've got the numbers to beat them.
We crossed that bridge once before. We all know how that ended. I'm protecting our people. I'll do the same for any one of you.
The Vander I knew, the one who built the underground, wouldn't be afraid to fight.
Who said he was afraid?
Do I look afraid?
No. You look weak.
Ooh.
We kicked the Enforcer's butts with just the 4 of us. Imagine what the whole of the lanes could do.
So why aren't we?
Oh.
Spill it, Echo.
Vander's gotta deal with the Enforcers.
What deal?
Ugh, they're all regal and so posh.
Jace Tallis, you are accused of illegal experimentation. What do you have to say for yourself?
I like that necklace.
The materials were far more dangerous than I was aware of. What I did endangered people. It was reckless, and for that I'm sorry.
As Jace's patron of many years, I can speak for his character. He will be a great contributor to our society.
If you were a scientist, you'd know you can't make a prototype without breaking a few wrenches.
I like him.
So you're saying your study was meaningless?
It was revolutionary.
All I see is a boy meddling with things he doesn't understand.
I was trying to create magic.
Ooh, that was a no-no. Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Arcane talents are something you're born with. They can't be fabricated.
Actually, I believe it is possible.
Has anyone even tried it before?
The arcane is the curse of our world. My race was nearly destroyed by it.
I like his face.
We're the champions of discovery. Why fear it when we can master it?
Jace, enough.
No, no, no. Shh.
Think of the wonders we could create. Let me prove—
Enough! That's a burden that only I here carry. Time. I've seen this power in the wrong hands. It corrupts. That cannot happen here, my boy. It must not.
He must be banished from Piltover.
Banished?
I move that Jace be summarily expelled from the academy and remanded to the care of his parents.
Bummer.
You may take your son home, Mrs. Tallis, but he is never to set foot on academy grounds again.
Well, that doesn't stop science. Ah, this guy.
First time I've been invited to the lanes. It better be worth my time.
You see, that's your weakness, Marcus. You carry your chin so high, you fail to see the opportunity below. Oh, don't look so concerned. I'm about to make your day.
I want his crystals.
Magic saved your life.
Yes, but it won't save yours now.
I could have convinced the council. If my own family won't help me, I'll find someone who will.
I don't think he could have convinced the council. He wasn't doing a good job of it to begin with.
Oh, that foolish boy.
Yeah, I must admit, his theory intrigues.
I think we know who's gonna believe in him.
Could these stones really invoke magic?
Far too unstable.
Could you stabilize it?
Me? Why would I?
You look magical, sir.
Come tomorrow morning, his research will be safely disposed of.
Victor's going to save it.
Will he live?
Silco.
No.
Singed. Okay, now we got 2 names for these guys. Robot Eye is Silco. He looks like a Silco. I don't know what that means.
Beautiful, aren't they?
No. Creepy AF.
They're monsters.
Speaking of which.
There's a monster inside all of us.
Yeah.
No, it'll kill me.
I think he's willing to risk it.
Power doesn't come to those who are born strongest, or fastest, or smartest. It comes to those who will do anything to achieve it.
It's called grit.
It's time to let the monster out.
I feel like they could have injected that rather than make him drink it. Oh. Beautiful. But it happened with his one eye, so I was wondering just now if Silco had tried it beforehand and that's how he lost his other eye.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to explain.
I think you've done enough.
She believed in him until he said magic.
This mention of magic has the people afraid. The culprits must be apprehended.
Do whatever it takes. Turn the Undercity upside down if you have to.
I feel like there's more at stake than just what happened.
What can I get you?
4 sump rats will do. Search the place.
I like it.
You weren't always the peacekeeper, were you?
You can't escape the past, right? It'd be a shame if I had to put them on again. Carstein's, well, it's hard to clean.
You're just a small man in a little hole the world forgot to bury. And I'm gonna bury the lot of you.
Could be worse. He could be you. Angry at the world. Gosh, that animation is so pretty.
You heard him. They won't stop. We need to fight back. And if you won't, I will.
You still don't understand.
What I don't understand is how you can work with them. I grew up knowing I'm less than them. That my place is down there. I want Powder to have more than that, and I'm willing to fight for it.
She's such a good sister.
I led us across this bridge, thinking things could change. Your parents would still be alive. I know you want to hurt the Topsiders for what they've done to us, but who are you willing to lose? Milo? Clagger?
She seems like she would be willing to sacrifice herself, actually.
Nobody wins in war, Vi.
Aww. Oh, what are you doing? No, no.
Am I interrupting?
Oh, Victor, thank you. Oh.
I was intrigued by what you said at the trial. Wanted to talk about your work, this Hextech theory of yours.
Hextech.
I saw with my own eyes what magic can do. The lives it could save. No one believed me.
I don't think you get expelled because people don't believe you. I think they do believe you and they're afraid of you.
I simply believed in myself. I think you're onto something.
No one thinks it can be done.
When you're going to change the world, don't ask for permission.
Just beg for forgiveness.
I don't even know your name.
It's Victor.
You know, Powder, what makes you different makes you strong. Always remember that, okay?
Do you have any idea what you've done?
I was getting results.
No, you weren't.
There is no stopping what happens now. Maybe it's not too late.
So I don't worry my head, 'cause I flows into the sea.
She's turning herself in. Damn. I was hoping that wasn't the case, but... Oh, Vander didn't send it. She did. Okay, so... Great episode. I really like the introduction of the magic, saving Jace and his mother's life. A beautiful sequence. My God, this animation is just stunning. And he wants to create magic. And, you know, that's where we hear the term arcane for the first time, is when the council's discussing magic. He was with the Caraman's daughter, and the Caramans are kind of his sponsors, I'm getting, or they said they called themselves patrons, so I'm assuming that's the same thing. That's what the posh say. But he's with Caitlin when the explosion happens, and then he has to try to convince the council to let him keep studying science for magic. I'm all for it, but Heimerdinger is not. And he's an old man, old thing. He reminds me of Gwildor from Masters of the Universe. I know that that's a weird pull, but for some reason he just reminds me of Gwildor. And I, again, with the ticky-tacky, clicky-clacky things, like the key from that movie, I absolutely loved it when I was a kid. Like, I wanted to push all the buttons and watch the little things spin around and all the magic come out. I like magic, obviously. But he warns Jace about mentioning magic to the council, and for good reason, because they wanted to expel him from Piltover, not just from the academy. Thankfully, his mom stepped in and they decided to just expel him from the academy, which I say, science doesn't need a building. But Mel and Alora, that are either on the council, or Mel is part of the council and Alora is like her assistant, they were discussing how to put Piltover on the map. Magic. I'm really, I'm thinking that they're gonna tap Jace on the shoulder and say, we want in on this. Let me help you. I definitely saw Mel having a little bit of an intriguing moment during that time. And of course she's going to vote for Jace to stay if she wants to utilize him in the future. Victor also would like to help Jace on this quest for magic, or at least the study of magic. Not quite sure what Victor's motivations are, but he does seem like he's a good person. He seems self-made. We see Milo still doubting Powder, which I get. I understand. She's not fierce like Vi. I get it. But then we see her be a crack shot at that arcade, and by the way, that animation was just gorgeous. Like, I know, like, I've played laser tag and I've gone into places that have all the blue light stuff, or whatever it is. I don't even know. UV light. And like, it looked gorgeous in here. Like, I want to like watch this episode again, but in the dark, just so I can get more of that vibrant color, because it is so vibrant and so beautiful. I'm just so impressed. Vander isn't necessarily afraid to fight, but I think he doesn't want it to come to violence because he saw how that ended last time. And he threatens Marcus, like, kind of asking him, like, you want me to put him back on? I'll put him back on. They're really hard to clean. That is a smooth man. That is a smooth man. I don't care if he is animated. He's smooth. Yikes. Yikes. And Marcus has kind of a set of stones on him, but he's kind of a pathetic dude. Like, he's trying so hard to be impressive. And I noticed also the council, especially the rich people, but mostly the council, that they have some kind of ornate looks to them. It kind of reminds me of like Hunger Games Capital style, where it's just like the higher up the echelon, the crazier the outfit. Kind of felt like that too. A lot of the TikTok-y stuff that I love, where it's like the necklace that was like the gears, and then of course like the machine guy with the cool face. And then we have Silco and we have Singed. Definitely, I think Singed is probably the more dangerous because he's actually the guy coming up with this purple potion. But Silco seems to be the one that is manipulating the whole thing. And he gets Deckard to take that purple stuff, which I don't know if maybe Silco had already tried it and that's what blew out his eye. I'm not sure, because it's kind of the same imagery that they had. I don't know if that's just a coincidence or if that is exactly what happened to him. But he's what we would call a gritty guy. He's willing to do anything to get what he wants. That's called grit. It's a very rare thing. I would think of anybody in this universe to be afraid of, it's him. Not the enforcers, not the council, not even the magic. Silco. Because he's got nothing to lose and everything to gain. And I kind of knew that when I saw the rabbit, I was like, Vi's gonna sacrifice herself. And by sacrifice, I just mean like she's gonna turn herself in. And I think when Vander saw the rabbit, he also was just like, oh crap. Because Little Man, or Echo, he told her about the tube and Vi sent it. She's a very smart girl. Very smart girl. I don't have any illusions that she will be trapped for long or that they will do anything to harm her. I hope they wouldn't. Now I'm second guessing myself. I would think that there's going to be an escape or a trial. I don't know. I see her doing amazing things. I don't know now. Now I'm worried. Anyway, I'm looking forward to getting more into this, especially the magic part of it, because magic's my jam. I love magic. I love anything that has to do with magic. That's some of my favorite stuff. And now, especially that we've got Jace and we've got kind of the guy that was in the magic and trying to discover more magic and create magic and become magical. I think we're gaining some steam here. This show, thank you guys so much for recommending it. I really do like it. I've been told that it really ramps up after this episode, so I will be trying to get into at least one a week. If I can get into more, I absolutely will. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment. What did I miss? What didn't I say? What didn't I see? Like, without spoiling anything, try your best. Because I've been warned that people like to spoil the show for other people, and that's really sad, like, for me to hear, because I think that discovering it and watching somebody discover it is the best part about reactions. Like, that's why we're all here, right? That's why we watch other reactors. So, shh on the spoilers, but give me that good knowledge. You can also find me over on my Instagram, Funny Little Gal Reacts. I can have long, in-depth conversations over there, more so than what I can in the comment section, so come find me over there. Other than that, I'll see ya.